All right, we are live now.
We are live. Holy cow.
We're live on the tubes of you.
All right, here we
We're going to be
go.
live on the radio in just a moment.
Everybody, let's just do
Something a little
this.
bit over here.
Whoops. Yeah, are you driving or you want me to drive?
And you driving.
bending
I
over?
get
That's
excited.
Yeah, I
get
can
excited.
do that. That's why you pay me
That's
this
why I pay
show. Yeah.
So we got to have tunes. We're live.
That's right. We'll get there. Hey, you started pushing buttons before we
It's a
were
mouse click
we
away
were ready to
happiness.
go.
It's
So,
about, yes, I like happiness.
That's
It's,
it.
it's always what I wanted to be when I was little. Well, look here. How about that?
I read the news today, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They'll bring the fix to Savior. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in. Cross its way under your skin. Just got by.
Really, thanks for talking over. We're trying to. You guys hired a producer. We're trying to do this. All right, here you go. Welcome into the grounds this morning. The grounds brought to you through the financial support of our good friends over at Cannabis. Cannabis CBD Shop offers quality, affordable, convenient products. Our mission is to provide an alternative, natural way of healing without using industrialized pharmaceuticals. We offer a broad array of hemp products to address a wide variety of ailments. Our team will guide you through your options to make sure that you are comfortable with the purchase. Visit us at 818 Front Street in McHenry or check us out at www.cannabiscbdshop.com or give us a call, 815-687-2608. Welcome in to the grounds.
Here we are.
Welcome,
Thank you very much,
Wow, that
Mr.
was awesome.
Producer. That was amazingly
That was very professional.
Yeah.
Have you done that
Are you
before?
jealous now? You want a different producer for your show?
No.
So
He's done that once.
yeah, once. Yeah, that
Well, he
was.
looks like he's hip hop today.
He does. He's got the red shoes and the red
He
jacket.
could almost be part of like the old
Who
what they call for Kia. When they had the ham stars. The ham stars. You know, he's got the hat on. He looks like he's ready to roll. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember that.
Oh,
yeah.
Kent, you're just so hip.
The
I
hat.
am.
And he's got the little
He's a
hat.
producer. He's got the hat,
The
the
little
red
hat.
tees.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, which is actually really friggin' awesome.
Well, the glasses really
So-
kind of.
He must have stopped at
That's it.
Cannabis.
They glow in the
morning.
Yeah,
Got
they top
himself
off the
a-
look.
So we got, of course, Scott Giles over here.
Morning, everybody.
And
Morning.
we have crashing the show, which is absolutely wonderful, Miss Lisa Affluent.
I don't get Fridays off much.
No, you don't.
Lisa's changing
get your shot?
perceptions. So
Happy Friday off that you don't get off much.
Not
Yeah.
even a little tiny chance is
That's
that going to happen.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, she is in her referee shirt between you two. So
oh, how about that?
Yeah. Why do we really
How
get into that much?
Why are we
Wait,
gonna
we-
fight?
that is it. Now, a couple of things that we will throw out there. Listen, this show, The Grounds, is unique. It's groundbreaking.
Very settled.
There is a couple of links there. So you'll see it says StreamYard.com
Mhm.
to IDA 726 SKG. Copy that. And then you can be part of the show. We want the audience to listen. The first 8 members out there will become part of this show. Now, here's the key. Put on some headphones and get off of the YouTube or the Facebook once you share that and you want to come in, right? So you just put that right into your web browser up there, your URL area, and it'll bring you right
You
in,
lost me.
which is fantastic.
All
It's
this
okay. You're
techno
here.
talk.
You don't have to worry.
Yeah, you
This
don't
is
have
all
to
the
worry.
technical stuff.
It's the
Yeah,
tech-
so
all
that they can
people
get
that
up
know
on the
what they're
screen
doing.
and join. They
But
can
the
do it
grounds
from your remote.
is groundbreaking, and we want you to be part. Jerry Settles, good morning. Glad to have you with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got man. Okay, is there anything really pressing that either of you want to talk about? Because there's something in my back pocket.
You pull
But-
that up
I'm
right
not
away,
touching
we'll
your
follow
back
right
pocket.
behind
Yeah,
you,
I'm
man.
not
I know.
touching your back
Ask
pocket.
it, yeah.
You have to
No,
pay
you're
extra.
not
Talk to Gary
invited.
Katz or
I have
about
to.
that
I
one.
have to
Yeah,
say,
you're
I
not-
should be paid to come in if you want
You're
that.
not invited. I'm not paying anybody to touch my pocket. Number one.
At least not
Number
directly.
two, you're not invited to touch my pocket. I've got something in my back pocket that I'll pull out here. But
His wife likes me, so whatever.
That's right.
Well, she's gonna like me
Here's-
too, since I gave her some free dog cookies for Oliver at Zoo.
Oh, she
Oh.
does actually.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you bought her off?
No, I don't know. I think I bought her off. I bribed her slightly.
Yeah, just slightly.
All right.
Yeah.
So I got to
But,
bring dog treats. That's the
There you go.
up my game.
Well, it's
Climb the ladder, social ladder.
The dealio is here's what had me thinking earlier in the week. What was it? Sunday? Was it Sunday? Yeah, that was Sunday.
This is so nice behind the Buddha.
Yeah.
I can't
So,
be seen.
can we actually?
Perfect.
You're just a talking Buddha head. Yeah.
That's generally my vibe.
That's your vibe?
There we go. All right.
Is that better?
There you are. That's much
Buddha's
better.
But I liked
Chapter.
it better before. What were you
That's-
doing?
Hey, there's
It's
hey
it is a
Rusty
ra-
Moore. That's actually one of my cousins.
It is
How about
it is
that?
a radio
Rusty
show.
Moore.
Rusty, how you doing? And Wendy is my mother. I don't know if she's on here yet. She may already be. I have.
Hi,
no
Wendy.
idea.
I know Wendy.
So, but we'll see. But here's what got me thinking. And guys, before you throw a fit and say I'm hating or anything, I'm absolutely not. Everybody and everything, and no matter how you are or identify or whatever, you're fine. You're welcome. The more the merrier.
I don't
I
believe fits are
don't
thrown here.
care. Here's what got me puzzled: is at the beginning of the big game with the little pigskin ball, because you can't say
Oh, you wasted your day watching that?
no.
Oh.
I was actually over at my brother-in-law's. He
I
invited
didn't
us
watch
over,
either.
and we were there for about 90 minutes. We really just wanted to go over and see him and say how you doing. My in-laws were there. One of my other brother-in-laws were there, and that was it. Just a small, very small gathering. And I'd never been over to his home before, and so he wanted to show me around. It was really nice. He's got a very, very nice home. But we were watching the opening of the thing, and they trotted many people out, and they showed many people, and they were standing. Hey, this is so and so, and that's so and so. They had 3 people standing there, and it was my understanding they were just standing in the middle of the field, and the camera panned on them. They just kind of smiled, and they were. I guess they represented, and it's fine. It's wonderful. You're all absolutely the LGBTQ community, which is great. And then one of them. I was understanding it was the L was chosen to do the coin flip, and it just I'm like, okay, that's fine, but why are you designated to toss the coin simply because of the kind of people you find really pretty cool?
Oh, I was trying to stir the shit.
I'm not stirring. It just
say
struck
that,
me.
wait,
Okay.
say that again. Because you find them cool?
Because you are amorously,
You're in bed with them.
Yeah, you're amorously
You're
inclined
sleeping.
to a certain group of people. Therefore,
Yeah.
you should toss the coin.
The L would be lesbian.
I get
Yeah.
that. I get that one. I wasn't
Yeah,
thinking.
What would you do
Linda.
without Cat?
I wasn't thinking Linda.
Because you like the Lindas.
The Lindas. Hey, Linda.
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 Or the Lisas.
Lisa,
Or
right,
whatever
right.
it might
But
be. But it just struck me out because by that qualification criteria, they could say, Pete, you are really, really enamored with Mary Catherine, with your wife, and you like certain attributes of her. So how about you come flip this coin? That scene that
Representing
they held that
the
out as the qualification
heterosexuals. Peter
criteria.
Galtz.
So,
I didn't.
Did you know that
It's
if you stir the
weird.
shit pot, you have to lick the spoon? Did you know that? I'm just saying.
I lick the spoon all
I'm
the
not
time.
quite. You guys know me.
Eric.
I'm pretty basic, pretty simple. So what's your point? You saying they
My
His
shouldn't
point
have
is,
had her?
is that what makes this so special?
Why
Like,
why would they highlight simply who you are attracted to as a qualification criteria to flip a coin? What I mean,
Politically correct these days. If
That-
you don't,
that's
then
the
that's
point.
bullshit. If you don't identify, can we swear?
No,
yeah,
yes,
there's no
please.
FCC.
So
Yeah.
right,
We don't
so
have a bleep
If
button.
you don't identify or share with another group of individuals in this world,
Yeah.
you're alienating everybody.
Eric says I would like to toss the coin representing 50-year-old married dudes.
Hey, Eric,
Right, there you go.
There you go.
Eric, unless
I
you're
don't
driving, hey, copy that link up above and join the show,
well,
brother.
I'm going to say that that's been part of the argument that I've had the whole time because
Rusty.
I don't understand how screaming I'm different, include me, and don't treat me different balances.
Okay.
And again, I don't give a
I
crap.
get making a point of feeling like something different, and I get that, and I think that the point has been made that has been what people have felt ignored for a very long time. But I'll use the same example I use every time because it seems simplistic.
Mm.
I did this with my mom, actually. If I come home every day and I say, a blue car almost hit me, a blue car was bad, you should have seen the blue car driving that. You should have seen the driver in the blue car. You should have seen what the blue car did. My mother unconsciously, I'm a hypnotherapist, just so that you know why I say ugly.
Is that why you're
Yeah.
moving your hands so I
Yes.
can slowly breathe?
Unconsciously, when my mother goes out to drive, she's going to be more aware of blue cars, and she's going to feel like blue cars are bad and wrong because I come home and planted that. But if I had just come home and said a car, she knows all the cars are the same, so she just has to be the same awareness of the cars. I'm not pointing out a very specific and embedding. Has there been a problem? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll freely say this because my daughters are very open-minded, and in truth, my house, as they grew up as teenagers, was the escape house for the children who did struggle with those things, and their parents weren't accepting. I had kids knock on my door at 11 o'clock at night in tears. I have nowhere to stay. I had kids who were struggling with gender identification come and talk. I had kids come that were suicidal and not knowing how to talk to their parents about how bad the situation really was and how they were feeling. So I don't feel guilty for saying what I say and feeling what I feel, even though I have literally been called a racist and a cultist and everything else, because I'm not out waving some big sign, when in truth, my belief is the waving of those signs is causing the problem to be bigger, not smaller.
Here's Rusty says, and you can throw that up there.
So.
I can. It's right below that one, Rusty Moore.
Because they're afraid to hurt some people's
because they're afraid to hurt some people's feelings. They will make a big deal about it, and it's easy to get people on that train to destroy you. How pitiful.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of shit in life that hurts my feelings.
Here's the thing.
You guys better all stop it. It hurts my feelings. I didn't get to grab your back pocket, Pete.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Guys, co-host is out for the day. Thank you very much.
No, there's no pocket grabbing on this show. Not on mine, anyway. You can grab your own pockets.
Just from the booth over here, can I just say, why then on December 28th do we have to celebrate Peter?
Because I said so.
Right.
It's my birthday.
It's just a day.
It's a
right?
day.
It's a day to make to put you at the center, right?
Put me at the center because
your
that's
birthday.
the day
You feel
that
special.
the date that I entered the world.
Perhaps,
but he doesn't expect the whole world to bow to him.
Are you kidding me?
I think that's maybe like.
Are you?
No, you know what? Actually, you're making my point. What he might expect is his social circle to recognize him and his special day, but he doesn't expect like Keanu. to go call in because it's Ken's birthday. Usually,
no, I would only expect Keanu.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
anybody who's
Keanu
outside my social circle. The only reason they should call me is because they recognize truly that I am the crown prince of the universe, and they need to pay homage,
or they want to visit you on your show.
No further questions, Your Honor.
But that means that your social circle is who your people are, who you feel comfortable with.
Get us going on this first thing in the morning, Pete.
Because it's the show.
That's good. The grounds. The grounds are ugly sometimes.
It's grounds for discussion.
It's grounds for discussion.
And you know what? Fine. I don't think they actually even really
I really was just curious
why they
because it just struck me so odd.
Because right now in the current climate, it looks good. And if next year something else looks good, that's what it will be.
I have no issue with it. I have family members who are gay, and they're wonderful,
amazing
people.
The Super Bowl. I'm one of the rare
Absolutely.
ones.
I didn't either.
I didn't either, but I never.
We didn't stay for it. I mean, we really were
wear
just
a mask.
Who? I don't know.
No,
the L lady.
I don't think they were wearing masks out on the field. I don't think they were.
Well, they had what 7,500 vaccinated heroes too there. So I mean, who are they?
That's where I think the climate is staying so rough. Is that
so? But by the way, folks,
political
Rusty and Eric and Wendy and everybody else up there, if you'd like, you can go to the very top of the comment feed and you will see a link. And there it is right there. You can either click on that or in the comments, or you can copy and paste that. You can actually join the show and turn on your camera, turn on your mic, put on your headphones, follow the instructions, and you can actually talk about anything you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be this. It just was weird to me that was like, by that standard, I could go flip a coin just
But
because.
I think that's what's keeping the waters so rough in all of this is that the so-called political correctness or the right or wrong is completely circumstantial based on each individual situation. Here's the reality. Life is circumstantial based on each individual situation. A silly example, but I have to be careful because the name's right. Podrunski bypassed her own, now look at me not be able to think of the metal detectors that they've now installed because of the life-threatening thing. So Podrunski bypassed those because, well, she's not one of those people that has to do that. Well, yeah, you are. If everyone is, and it includes you. Yeah. And that's a silly example.
Hey, Mary, good morning. How you doing?
Because she makes me twitch. But
Rusty says driving to work. Rusty, don't be texting while you're driving, dude.
But the point is that that's the problem. Right. Is that people keep screaming, it has to be this way, but wait, not for me. It has to be this way, but not based on your life, based on what I currently need in the moment. And it's so fluctuating nonstop, like the mask, like the vaccine, like the sexual orientation, really, like the color, like the everything. And it's like, well, you know what? As long as we keep pointing out every single little thing, you can't say unity.
Right.
I mean, it's been pointed out. We get it. Picture's been made, but no time has even been given to process those changes. And it's beating the same thing over and over again. And then finding out that the people saying it aren't following their own rules.
So at this point, does that even really matter then? I mean, could we just,
I think
Jerry,
we're making
good
the problem
morning,
worse,
Jerry.
not better.
And good morning, Mary.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
They did it. Now that we're recognizing and talking about it, you're making it more
apparent.
Well, and almost not even just more apparent. More
it's like beating a dead horse.
Unacceptable. Well, I mean, you keep bringing it up. It's like beating a dead horse.
So really, I should just be like,
She's a person that flipped the coin that I don't care who she goes home to bed with. I don't care
what she does. I
really don't
care.
It
is.
She's a person.
So why did
I agree with why you brought it up.
What we do ask is that she stops by the Fantasy Factory on her way home to sleep with that person.
Step by the Fantasy Factory, get herself some supplies.
I agree with you bringing it up. It's the point that
Fantasy Factory, which is at
flip that coin.
It's right here on
818
Front Street. 818.
Actually,
818 Front Street.
Same building as Cannibalism.
That's right.
Oh, okay. 818 Front Street.
Pleasure and pain depends on which way you turn when you go in the building.
That's right. And depends.
And they didn't ask me to do a coin flip, so I'm really upset because I can help both communities.
Yeah. Actually,
and you're special.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here,
and in the canines too.
I guess
dogs as well. Dogs,
I guess the question is, where did we take a left turn or a right turn? Where did we turn that all of a sudden everybody's got to love everybody? We can have unity, and I can still hate you.
Right.
I mean, it's in my workplace. I mean, there's people that you work with that you are like, you know what? I hope I don't see you in the parking lot because I won't slow down. Right. But as a team collectively, there's unity and you get things done.
Kent works for General Mills.
Well, when I used to run the animal
I'm talking about us here at 216 feet.
When I used to run the animal hospitals, it was a rule among the staff because I had high school kids all the way up to people in their 50s and their 60s that I managed over. And they knew the given rule within the clinic was, I don't care who your friends are. I don't care what you do when you're outside here, provided you don't misrepresent us. I don't care who you like, who you're having dinner with, who you're going to the movie with. When you're in these four walls, I better not be able to tell the difference.
Right.
Period. That was just the rule. It was a given. Because face it, there's a lot of people that are older that aren't going to get along with the teenager and vice versa. And there's some disrespect that can happen and so on and so forth. But in that building, bite your tongue and go live your life elsewhere. Because that's
just do your job. Do your job.
Right.
And that's where I think as a society, it's everything's attached to can't even think about, but your orientation or who you are, what you do. It shouldn't matter. I'm Scott. I do what I do every day. I do what I do because that's what I want to do. And if I'm not hurting anybody else and I'm not being illegal, what difference does it really honestly make to you?
Hold your integrity and do no harm. There's the rules.
Why do you have the right to comment about what I do and how I do it as long as I'm not affecting you? Right, I don't care that she flipped the coin. I don't care what her orientation is.
I don't,
but a lot of people do, and that's what sucks.
And that's my point.
You can't even have conversations like this, like you said. You're going to stir the pot.
Tell me something.
Negatively.
Right.
Tell me something. Like okay, so that's great, but tell me, what did she do something significant for her community? Did she do something significant?
Right. Is there something
Honor,
stand out
valor.
other than the fact or sexual orientation?
Honor, valor.
Right.
Honor,
So-
valor of any sort,
You
any
know,
color,
What's your
any
merit?
race,
Why are
any
you
Yeah.
married?
Correct.
Right. Like I would have
You know,
preferred
say-
to have
Even if all
you
they
know.
did was say, hey, you know what? Here's this gal, here's these two other folks, or what, however you identify, I don't care. Here's a flying dolphin. And we just think they're absolutely wonderfully cool. So we'd like them to flip the coin. That's fine with me. It just struck me as so weird. And maybe it's just me. It just seems so odd that.
Well, and it comes down to, is it possible to
Like,
say, highlight my orientation, but don't look at me as my orientation?
Well, I again,
Highlight
and
me
not
as my
that
color, but
and
don't
again,
look at me as my color.
not-
Highlight me,
not that the orientation was
possible.
weird, just the circumstance around.
Right. It's the whole subject.
You know,
Basically the whole-
it's like, here, I have this lovely cake for you because you wear red shoes. Okay.
Here's a lovely cake for you because I wanted to give you a cake. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You got red
Right.
shoes, right?
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing is everything has to be associated with a reason behind doing it, and there really isn't.
Right.
It shouldn't be. I did that because I wanted to. She flipped the coin because we wanted a lady to flip the coin.
So let a
It
lady-
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she
doesn't
likes girls
matter.
or boys or both.
No, but why aren't we
Especially during the
honoring
football, you would
valor?
have think they would have hired
that
somebody
still
that was
comes
a big,
back to it.
brawny dude.
Why aren't we
Yeah.
honoring and highlighting the things that truly matter, which is integrity, character,
not politically
valor,
correct.
survivorship? Those are the things that we should be honoring, and not looking at what's behind that person, meaning other than the valor,
Yeah, but what's
other than
behind
the
that
reward, other
what's
than the
behind that
survival.
person though? Potentially is
Okay.
showing kids what's good, better,
Yeah.
and different, right?
So we're honoring valor,
Mhm.
and he's a mass murderer. We don't care what's behind it.
Well, what do you consider valor? I don't consider mass murder a valor.
Well, he's a war hero.
That
Who?
doesn't mean he's valor.
Oh,
There
I
can
see
be
what you're
fat-
saying.
yeah,
that
You're
can-
equating.
That
Right?
can
What are
be
you
valor.
calling
But
valor?
you know what? The kids that I see the teenagers that I see that survive abuse and trauma and horrors and still go to school every day and still have a good attitude and still help their teammate and still do their best even though they're not on there. Those are integrity, character issues. To me,
Okay.
that's part of valor. It's to show I'm a survivor, and you know what? I do what needs to be done even when it was tough for me because it's right for everyone. It's right for me, and it's right for everyone around me. Those, to me, are valor. So there's another thing. It's a matter of opinion of what you consider valor.
So standing in front of the entire world, saying that you are gay is not valor?
Well, to that individual person, it may be.
Okay, well, that's what you asked. Why aren't we honoring the valor? So we were.
Okay, that works for me. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Because if in you personally, it takes a great deal of courage to stand up and say, "This is who I am."
Yeah.
Then,
But then you don't
Then
get to say, don't look at me
fantastic.
as this is what I am. And there's where I think
And-
the difference is. You don't get to scream, don't treat me different, don't look at me as that's all that is me, but that's the part of me I'm going to highlight. Where the person or that survives and still shows character and still is a good person to the best of their ability based on their situation, does something good, saves it, whatever it should be, because everybody has different circumstances. That's something I would want to be known for. I would want somebody to look at me and go, that's the person who did this. That's the person who was the survivor. That's the person who was this. So that be something to be proud of. I'm not saying to be proud or not proud of being gay, but you can't say, highlight this, highlight this, highlight this. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't you dare look at me as that's all I am. You can't do that.
And we don't know that she
22.
did.
well, I mean, I do sincerely
Rusty-
appreciate it when people look at me and recognize.
Rusty
that-
says,
that,
I'm fat, but I identify as trans-slender. Would I
oh,
qualify?
I like that. I'm going to use that from now on.
Yeah.
Translate.
I am, and by the way,
You
Eric said.
qualify if you want to qualify.
Yeah,
You're realistic,
right.
and that's, you know what, you are accepted or rejected, or you are who
You're
you want to
thinner
be.
than
Rusty-
somebody.
Right.
Rusty,
Right.
you are freaking awesome. And that's really very cool. Facebook user, good morning. And I
That's
just love the
interesting.
way it
That
does
did
that.
that to me the other day.
It does
That's
it.
probably my wife stalking me,
So if you're going to
Making
have
sure
somebody
you're here.
stalk you,
making sure I'm here. Yeah.
if you're going to have somebody stalk you, it's nice that it's your wife.
Yeah.
I'd love it if
Well,
my
why
wife
she-
stalked me.
Maybe she does.
I was gonna say maybe she does.
How do you know?
Maybe that's why it says
she's a
She
good
may
stalker.
be just really good at
Yeah,
it.
she's just a good
Maybe
stalker.
that's why it
Don't
says Facebook user.
That's right.
Right.
So-
She's not really here
She
for
uses
him.
she uses Facebook as her medium.
That's right.
And Mary Shep says, I self-identify as a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh my!
I
goodness.
had that
Good
the other
morning,
night.
Mary.
I
With
had
bacon.
grilled cheese. I
With
had
bacon.
With bacon.
And tomatoes.
Yeah, where's breakfast?
Hey, I
you
got
know
you
what?
goddamn
Coffee,
coffee.
You did bring, and I'm sorry, I didn't have coffee in the studio, and Kent actually went out.
I had no idea you're
And I-
coming.
and he
I
had
would've
no
got
Just
it
for
for
the
you.
record, I told him.
And she did tell me.
Because I don't get Fridays off
Well,
very
you
often.
said you might.
So
You said might.
He didn't
You
tell
said
me.
I might, Cresta.
that, you know what? There we go. We're back to it. That should have put a big shining light on the day for you because I was showing and it did not.
That's right.
Well,
Facebook,
to me, that means you
Facebook
might be
user.
here, you might not.
Facebook user says, I can identify as your wife, daughter, but I promise you I am not that person.
Okay, that's fine and dandy.
So let me
I
ask.
identify as a potato. Okay.
So let me
That's
let me
fine.
ask you this, Pete. What would you have preferred to have seen?
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good
I
question.
have no
Is
care.
there's no
It-
preference.
there's no
you just
preference.
I,
would
was
like
gonna say, I
the
don't
fact-
think he's pointing out that he's mad that it happened. I think he's just bringing
No,
out
and I
the
think
fact that it happened.
If
Right,
it
but
was a wonderful event for her and for everybody else, I have
I mean, I didn't.
It
Once again, I
just
didn't watch
struck
it. So
me
did they
as
make it?
odd that was the reason
Were they very apparent
highlighted.
that this girl is a
Yes,
lesbian?
they said
this is why
this
we wanted to flip the
specifically
coin.
here and this is-
Representing the LGBTQ community.
That's the only reason
Unity.
she was
Right.
chosen.
Right.
Yes, and they didn't go beyond that, and it just struck me as odd.
It's been a
And-
hard, long fight for those people.
Right.
Being able to be accepted into society, in the mainstream society. However, it's also been a very tough road for amputees, but we've also seen amputees out there flipping the coin, and we didn't question that. The devil
I haven't,
That's
though.
why I'm getting at.
I've never-
What makes it any different than anyone
I have-
else say they
right.
flip the coin?
I
That's
have
what I guess
never-
I'm getting
because
at.
of the political climate in the country.
I-
Yeah,
right now.
it's just what
I
I
think
Well, the
that's-
political
saw,
climate in the
and
country sucks right now because
absolutely.
it's
you
just
can't
what
talk
I saw
about
and
it
how
with
it hit
somebody
me.
and not cause an issue. And that's why
It's-
I choose not to talk politics with a lot of people these days because I have a different view. It's going to cause
Right.
a
Yeah, we don't
A
do.
war.
It's gonna,
A
well,
war.
it's not necessarily a war, but then you're going to look at me different. Like with my parents. My parents and I are on different ends of the spectrum. I love them to death.
I like
I
potatoes.
don't necessarily agree with them, but I still love them no matter what. I'm not going to ostracize them. I'm not going to not like them or love them anymore. But today, it seems like if you have an opinion based on something that somebody else disagrees with, you can't even be friends anymore now. People just get pissed off and defriend you. And I mean, this is what I hear because, like I said, I don't really
No,
do
it's true.
Facebook.
I don't.
It's just so stupid because this country was built on difference of
Differences.
opinion
Yep.
and being able to come together. And at the end, like for me, my
And
big
us
thing
murdering
is,
Indians.
Right. I disagree with you, but I'll tell you, you know what? I'm going to agree to disagree.
Mhm.
I appreciate your thought, and it might make me look at something
Exactly.
different. But today, the way I hear it and see it is, you're different. Screw you. I'm not going to talk to you and just shut down. You're an idiot. And now we're even more divided. And you
Well,
saw that happen.
now it
throughout the
almost
election.
feels like a lot of the times it's been there's two choices. You're this or you're this, and there's no in between. I was really called a cultist and a racist on Facebook because there was, I don't know if anybody heard about it, but there was a sex ring broken in Kenosha, another one. And I was like, yay, thank God more. To me, that's a good thing. I was just commenting like, yay, there's more of this being found. Keep it up.
Sex
Save these
trafficking,
kids. Right.
was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you. And,
That's scary.
somebody came on and said, you're just a Trumper. None of that stuff is true. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, what? What does that have to do with
that
anything?
right there is exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
What
Right.
difference does it make if you like Trump or
Sure.
Biden and
Right.
are happy
Sex
that
trafficking
happens? It
sucks
doesn't matter.
regardless.
It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, independent. It doesn't matter. That's wrong. It's wrong no matter what orientation
Happy
you are.
birthday,
as far as
Dawn.
Well, and
political-
they had broken up a
Oh.
ring back in 15 and 16. It was back in the same area. And I said, this is when it happened then. And I was just as excited that they rescued those kids then as I am now. What does this have to do with it?
Dawn,
And
good
they
morning.
said that's just untrue. It's the myth that you people have learned to follow. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
So it's come
Dawn.
to you're either this or you're this, and there's nothing else you can
Okay,
be
so
anymore.
speaking of myths, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dawn.
Dawn Bremer
Hey,
is
Dawn,
Hi,
good
Dawn.
morning.
is the host of Whining with Dawn. She's on her
Yeah.
way out to Las Vegas. She's going to be celebrating her birthday. No whining with Dawn tonight.
No.
Well,
She's
she's
tune
going
in
to be
Good
whining.
time.
She's
She
just
gonna
not
be
gonna
whining.
online.
Yeah.
She's going to be stumbling
Now,
through downtown Vegas.
we will be watching for the Shaft Tap shirts and where they show up in Las Vegas. So it's part of her show. If
She
you,
needs
if
to
you follow.
Facebook Live us while
Yeah.
she's walking down
Interesting.
the strip.
Yeah.
I shall never be wearing one of those.
And of course, I just
I've
want
been
to share
completely
that
against.
you are tuned in. You're caught here in the net, 21.6 the net, and this is The Grounds. The Ground is groundbreaking. We are really looking for some people out there to share that link and come on in and be part of this show. The uniqueness of this show and what makes the best flavor is getting you guys on camera and into the show, out to the hundreds of thousands of people who are tuned in right now. And of course, The Grounds is brought to you through the financial support of Cannabis CBD Shop. It offers quality, affordable, convenient products. Their mission is to provide an alternative, natural way to healing without using industrialized pharmaceuticals. They offer a broad array of hemp products to address a wide variety of ailments. Their team will guide you through your options to make sure that you are comfortable with the purchase. Visit them at 818 Front Street in McHenry, Illinois, or check them out at www.cannabiscbdshop.com, or check them out at 815-687-2608, and you can order online and it will get delivered to you. So if you don't live in the McHenry land area, take care of it all but thanks to the Cannabis
Just
CBD
to let
shop.
you know on that one though, Kent, is right now the online, they can call us in and we will get it out to them. The online store is not. You can go on, see the products, get an idea of what you want, but you'll have to call it in.
It's under construction.
Technology, it's under construction, yes. But call us, and if the best thing is always, if you can, is stop in and see us.
That's it, of
You
course.
know, the one-on-one consultation is really what
Hi,
I
Gary.
pride ourselves on. You know, that way we can really work with you. You know, get a flavor of what's going on with you. So.
And of course, The Grounds. You've got host Peter, Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete.
You've got the new co-host over here, Scott Giles.
Morning, folks.
And in studio
special
today,
guest host.
special
guest
guest
host,
right?
Lisa today.
Lisa Eflin. Now, Lisa runs a great show Sunday morning. So you're going to want to tune in to Lisa's Changing Perceptions. She doesn't always wear the referee shirt, but
no, I didn't even think about it, but I
does.
guess it was good today.
no, it's perfect.
Yeah, I
Pete
mean,
and I from going at it. It's The Grounds. This is grounds for discussion.
Hey,
Going
how about
groundbreaking.
that?
And this is the pilot show. So
well, it's second.
Well,
we did a sort of
dry
a show
run,
last week.
yeah, but
That
this
was
is
a
the
sort
pilot.
of.
I'm
But
here.
this is really like the real
I
one.
mean,
This is the one that matters.
how can it really not matter?
Because you're
It's
special.
not- it matters.
This is the first one with the
It's
real
first
crew.
official.
the real crew.
The real
This is the first official.
And that makes you special.
Well, I don't know
So
about
we're gonna
that one because
highlight
I'm
you.
just me. So I am me. So if that makes me
You
special,
didn't get
you
Keanu.
don't, I can flip a coin.
Yeah. So
Which way
Gary,
am I going this morning?
Gary from Singapore tuning in on a Friday evening
Hi,
out
Gary.
there says it's the first day of the lunar year, so wishing all good health and prosperity in the year of the hug and kiss.
And I believe it's
Hug and
the lunar year. I think is actually the ox. Is that right, Gary?
It is.
Well,
OX.
that's what it says.
OX,
It says
hug
he
and
said
kiss.
hug and
I
kiss.
get it.
And he said
It was a
ONX.
bad. It was.
I was pointing that out for somebody who may not
It
realize.
was really
the
a bad
reality of it.
attempt at humor, and I
No, we
apologize,
liked it,
Lisa.
Kent. I
So,
got
and
it.
by the way, Gary, the link is at the top of the feed. If you can't get it, Kent can always post it in again if you like. But Gary, you're more than welcome to join the show just as last time. Anybody else who wants to click that link, jump on in, follow the instructions,
We'd love to have
and
you.
talk with us. Join
Well,
the
now
show.
that you brought up this controversial topic,
Oh,
I'm sure
no.
everybody's going to be jumping right
I mean,
now.
we
Yeah,
can.
that's
we
why-
can-
that's
we
why
can
we're
I
not
didn't want to go
change-
politics first thing in the morning. 'cause
Well, this isn't
that's not my
political
thing.
at all.
No.
There's no politics. I'm not. There's no
Well,
political
of course, don't
view
kid
of this.
yourself. That was politically driven. That the fact that they had an L.
No, no,
person
no,
flip a
no.
coin.
No, not at
Sure
all.
it was.
I was
How
just.
can it not be?
I
Why did they
was.
choose- what does it matter? Her orientation. They're
Well,
trying
that-
to make that segment of the
Okay,
of the
so
world
maybe
happy. So that's a
maybe
political
that's the
move.
explanation that
Maybe
you're
not
giving.
voting for
Because
her.
I was thoroughly perplexed on that.
Why does
and
it
it-
perplex you? I think it's so simple, cut and dry. It's
Do you?
because
I'm
it's
like-
cut and dry
It's
because
brain. Yeah.
because they can't do what's just normal and acceptable. They've got to do something for a reason. The reason that she's flipping the coin is because we're having a game and someone needs to flip the coin, and we thought we'd let this person represent it.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, why didn't they just grab someone out of the
See, and I think that would be freaking
Although, do
cool
they still
for
have
that would be the ideal
Do they
thing.
still have
because
the cardboard
freaking-
audiences
There's
now,
two-
or
Yes.
are there real people?
There's
No,
too
they're
much
cardboard.
thought.
It was
See, there's way
weird.
too much thought put into everything these days.
And
It's
see,
not
maybe
just
that's why I'm
running by
over.
the seat of
Maybe
your
that's
pants.
why I
Right.
overthought it.
But that's the thing. It's the stirring of the shit pot. It's society's thing.
Right.
And I just had this conversation with somebody because the world is spinning. Everybody is looking for something. And reality is we're all triggered by different things based on our own
Hey,
life
see you,
experience
cousin
and
Rusty.
and our
Get
own
to work.
views.
Have a wonderful day.
And if a client came into me and they were
Okay.
spinning, because that happens in life
No.
sometimes, everything, I don't know how to make a choice. I don't even know how to see clearly anymore. I would tell them, stop, plant your feet on the ground, clench your fists so that you're aware of yourself, close your eyes and breathe a few minutes. Stop and look forward. And I can't see the world calming down until everybody learns
It
to
doesn't.
just stop all the chaos for a little
But
while,
that's okay.
breathe, look in your own four walls, then look right outside your own four walls and start again. You'll still have all this knowledge, all these things that we've learned. It's a reality. Things have been wrong.
Okay.
Things have been
On that
treated
note,
poorly.
on the note of reality, the reality is I do need to wish someone an incredible, special happy birthday. And that is my mother, Wendy Munson,
today.
who today is her birthday. And she has been watching. She has been joining. Mary, good morning. How you doing?
Happy birthday, Wendy.
And
Morning.
it is her birthday. She is. Should I say your age? Are you okay with that? Nah,
She's
it doesn't-
27.
Yeah.
Dude, if she's made it past 65, you can say her age and she should be proud.
Well, let's go with that. She's 76 today,
Woo.
and
All
she
right,
is
Mom.
Good life.
moving, going strong, having
76
good
years and
times.
kicking butt.
And
After
she's-
pushing
She gave
Pete
birth
out,
to you,
I
so hell.
Pete's head was that size when he was an infant. So
Oh,
I was
man.
Yeah,
pushing-
my
I'm so
body-
sorry.
my body didn't catch up until I was in 8th grade. So, but hey, I came into the world and it's her birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We
birthday,
can't
Mom.
Happy
sing that
birthday.
song. So, and Mary, thank you very much. How you doing, Mary? This is
wouldn't
really cool.
Sing and torment her on her birthday anyway.
Well, we can't.
I figured I saw that you guys could join, so I was like, I'm halfway into my cup of coffee. I might as well.
Why can't have
Awesome.
a baby sung?
Trade right.
So what you been up to?
What's
I haven't
that?
actually seen
What?
you for a while,
Why
not
can't we
since
sing
you
happy
moved your
birthday?
show.
Oh, you can't. Why can't you? Probably because you can't sing very well. Is the only.
I was
Oh,
gonna
he
say-
said he couldn't do it for trademark
I'm
reasons.
having a conversation over here. Sure.
We're having one over here.
Yeah, well, stop it.
What makes your
This is
conversation?
riveting radio. We got 6
I'm the host.
conversations going on at the same
He's,
And she's
time.
a guest.
he's the
I'm the
producer.
co-host, so I can't.
So true.
I'm co-ing it.
Hey, there's Gary too
All
from
right.
Hi,
Singapore.
Gary.
All right, Gary.
Gary.
Gary can
Oh,
sing.
I
you
got
doing?
to finally meet Gary. Thanks for
It's
always watching
finally-
my show.
Yeah, I
Lovely.
talked to him a lot in comments, but not in person. Hi, Gary.
It's great. It's great to finally
Gary.
see Mary in person, if not over the radio.
Gary,
Yeah.
did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you see
Uh,
what Pete's talking about?
I actually, well, American football is not really popular in Asia, but I do try and watch the Super Bowl at least.
I mean, who wants to watch a bunch of dudes in helmets beat each other up?
we prefer
I would say
because
that's
we
a
are,
very
because-
specific kind of genre.
because we were under the
nice
British.
story.
We were under the British, so we prefer to watch rugby actually.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So you have I'll pass on that section.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
No.
Are things
No,
Gary?
no.
Are things
Are you-
happening there that you're seeing happening in the U.S. or is the U.S. just nuts?
Honestly, you want a honest picture or you want a dishonest
You've
picture?
seen my show. You know I want the truth.
Yeah. of
Okay.
course you want the honest.
I think for most of us in Asia, we find that overall, okay, look, America is not really an old country. I mean, to be honest, China is older with a 6,000 year history. Middle East is even older with like 7,000 year history. But I think America is right now finding its foot in the era of multiculturalism. With multiple races, multiple beliefs, and things. So we are seeing America as a child that's struggling through growing pains or trying to adapt to multiculturalism in the society. Where in Asia, multiculturalism is actually, it has been here all along from day one. So we are used to it with that. So it's an interesting perspective. The US is like a little petri dish that we're all observing.
All right, on that note,
That's a great analogy. I love it.
That's true.
We're
And
a
of
science
course-
experiment.
And of course,
You're
the
my
growth
new
field,
favorite
right?
person, Gary.
Well, of course, I mean it in a good way because it is a time for us to observe how human interaction is, and with the multiple beliefs and the multiple cultural, different groups of culture and societies that are in America, and throw into the mix, you have the volatile mix of politics, and I think it makes for a very interesting a range of variables.
So, Gary, looking at it from that perspective, and looking at it from outside the box, so to speak,
Right.
what would your suggestion be to somebody on how to start change, how to grow the petri dish faster?
Well, I think change. Well, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but change actually really begins with all of us individually. But the problem with America is that I think right now in the society of America is a very pretty fragmented society, and social media is not really helping. It's actually amplifying that divide. So if you want change, if you really want to start on the path to change, then find the big switch to the social media in the US and just switch it off, and you can perhaps begin to see the signs of change starting.
Well, social media as well as some of the bigger media outputs, I think.
So that is why again it's a bit of a ironic thing, but there you have Americans saying that Asia is a lot of countries in Asia are one party rule, the media is suppressed or whatever, controlled. I mean, they also say that about Singapore, and to a certain extent it's true to a certain extent, but if you look at the flip side, we don't really have the media playing that sort of thing in Singapore, or especially so the media doesn't play races against race, religion against religion in Singapore because it's not allowed, it's illegal. So hence you have the governmental control, which to Americans they will feel that but that's big brothers controlling it. But then it's either you're between a rock and a hard place. Let's put it this way.
That's awesome, Gary. That is
Thank you.
That is dead on. That deserves a round.
You're welcome.
So, Eric,
You're
good morning.
breaking up.
How you doing?
I listened to you guys for a little bit. I commented, said, Pete, you're looking rather slim this morning, which really just tongue in cheek than anything. But then I took a shower, got completely naked. I'm suds. I feel good.
Put your tongue on his cheek, man.
That's right.
Yeah, right. But I actually got on. I started listening to what Gary said. I'm gonna take the other side of what Gary said. I don't think that our society is all fractioned and it's all awful. And I'm gonna take the other side of that because I think he's right from one point. I think it is social media driven, but I think there are more people than ever that are probably in agreement about things are actually not as bad as we think they are. Things aren't awful. We're not fragmented. The problem is the fragmented partial amount of people that is this big have massive bullhorns, and we feel like we have to listen to all that garbage. I don't think we're as fragmented as we think we are, and I think life's pretty freaking good. I've had a great week. I get to hang out with Pete and all of you folks through the power of this. This isn't as awful as we want to make it out to be. Just my opinion. And Gary, I don't know you, but I like you, and I'm just you look like an angel with that light above your head. So.
Oh, it's a little halo. It's a little halo above me.
Yes, but it's tiny. It's tiny. It's smaller than Pete's, and I didn't think it'd get.
But if it turns red, please run.
Everything is kind of, as you're talking fragmented or the small section, all the fragmented areas that you're talking about is being over highlighted, right? Or pushed too hard through social media. So, I mean, social media has a great place for us in this world. But the problem with social media and just really the internet and all this is everyone's on it nonstop. And so they're not living life. They're watching life, and they're listening to it from 8 million other people's perspective instead of keeping their own perspective, right? And learning through their life, through the people around them. Instead, they're looking at everybody else's lives and complaining that their life ain't great because they see someone else's life on, like Facebook, where it's the snapshot of the good stuff in your life. Right.
Yeah.
It's, you wonder why everyone's so screwed up.
That's what I meant by stop and close your eyes.
Sucks. Your life doesn't suck. Your life is great, but you look at it compared to someone else's life, well, of course it's different. Doesn't mean it sucks. But
That's what I meant by stop and close your eyes and look
right.
at your own four walls.
Right.
Where am I?
Yeah.
What's right here? Now, once I determined what's right here, what's real, now I step outside my front door. What's really right here?
Right.
What's really in my yard? Now what's in my neighborhood? Now, you know what I mean? Now what's really here? And that's what I call, we did a show on it. It's called Staying Within Your Wheelhouse. And
this is kind of right in my wheelhouse of some of the things I talk about. I gave a talk 2 weeks ago today to about 45 employees, and one of the interesting things in our life right now is we have the greatest communication device in the history of the world in our hand, and yet we use it to go on social media and sink other people's yachts, and that doesn't make our yacht any bigger, you know. Sinking someone else's life doesn't make our life any bigger. And I will say this, I think I look at social media and I enjoy it, and I use it for work and I also enjoy it. But and Pete and I have talked about this, but raise your hand if your grandma had a photo album on her coffee table.
Right.
Yeah.
We all had that.
We all had that.
All the great highlight stuff in their life. It wasn't a picture of like, hey, Uncle Pete lost his big toe to diabetes today, and here's a picture of it. I'm personally okay with people showing. I'm personally okay with people posting their highlights. You know what? There's keeping up with the Joneses didn't happen 15 years ago when social media was invented. It's going on forever. It's just highlighted. We've got to, as adults, raise our children, and we have got to be freaking smart enough to get up every day and say, "I've got it pretty damn good." Your soul being born into your body,
having gratefulness, gratitude
is 1 in 4.4 billion.
And realizing that when we can't say, hey, you know what, this is good, what can I do about it to change that? Not what you owe me, what you need to do to fix me, what somebody else needs to give me to fix me, but hey, you know what, as I'm looking at this, I don't feel like it's great. I feel like I want more. I feel like I want something different, or, you know, I feel like something's missing. And then going within yourself and going, what do I do to change that?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you do, to me, the first thing I do every single time I get up is I say, you know,
you don't actually go to sleep. So,
well, no, the last time I wake up in the night, in the morning. So the last time I wake up, I say thank you. When I get out of bed, I say thank you. And I remind myself to be kind, gracious, grateful, and thankful with everybody that I interact with throughout the day that's important to me. And the fact that, you know, Mary, Eric, Gary, Scott, Lisa, Kent are actually hanging out with me here this morning, as well as 1.1 million of you on the radio when I checked a little bit ago, blows my freaking mind. I'm so grateful for that. Producer.
I was just going to say, Eric, I appreciate you, but as a Jones, you don't have to run that damn hard to keep up with us.
Well, you know, we at our church, the pastor of our church is not on Facebook or social media, and he mentioned, you know, all these pictures and people got to keep up with the Joneses, and I'm like, you know, that probably used to happen at your church before social media, way before. You were driving to church you hadn't been to church in 6 weeks, but you were driving to freaking church on a Sunday to show off your new car that you had taken the sticker off the window of. That was what we did. We just do it on a different level now. You know what? When people say, "Oh, Instagram is just your highlight reel," good. Gary, I don't even know you, but I want to see all your freaking highlights, man. I want to see everything, Mary. I want to know, Mary. I want Mary to know I'm drinking from my favorite coffee cup today because that's my son. You know, show your freaking highlight reel, man. Life's too short for us to sit around and complain about.
Nothing wrong with showing your highlight reel. The problem is too many people are looking at someone else's highlight reel and saying their life sucks because their highlight reel is
good.
great.
Yeah, that's the main point.
And it's not new. That's always been happening. I'm okay with that.
That's what I meant by take your integrity, take your character, build from that.
It's always who has the low swinging Richard.
Right. Well, exactly. But I mean, it's a matter of perspective.
What if you don't have a Richard?
It's a matter of perspective, really. I mean, my life, if from the outside, you know, people look at me, probably think my life is freaking awesome. I do have a good life. I have my problems, right? Yeah. But when I look at other people's lives going, I don't see their problems. I only see the goodness. And that's the problem is people aren't really going, you know, that is their highlight reel. But, you know, when they go home, you know, they're getting kicked by their spouse.
And then people call you naive.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? And exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, appreciating what you have, like Lisa said, you know, look in your own wheelhouse, look inside your house. Yeah. But the problem is because of, you know, the access to social media and all this information is people aren't stepping back and appreciating really their life before they start evaluating what someone else's life looks like to them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
So I think that it's funny that
I have to run, but if I could add one more thing before I go, because I've got a call to get on at 8:30 and I have to go pee, a lot of coffee. I do want to say
thanks for sharing.
I do quite, I mean, I'm just being very transparent. A lot of times I post things I literally think, will this make Pete jealous? And you know, so I do that intentionally, but and Gary, I like you. The halo over your head is mesmerizing. Mary, we haven't talked, but you look like a wonderful person, and
she's awesome.
To everyone at 216 the net, you all, I hope you have a great weekend. And
right back at you, buddy.
So I will see you guys soon. Have a great day.
Have a lovely day.
Same to you.
That's our good friend Eric Bam. He was caught in the net this morning.
I agree with you, and part of the thing that I talk about on my show is we also need to not be afraid to show both sides sometimes and to be honest about those other sides so that people can realize more, because our teens or young people are very trained by the belief that what you see on social media is true.
Life, right.
Of course, Mary, you were going to say something.
Yeah, Mary.
I was just going to say that it's funny because I have this conversation with my crew quite a bit because we have such a varying degree of ages and perspectives, and that the one thing that I try to do myself and instill in others is to listen to hear what people are saying and not to respond, because you always listen to someone and within the first two words of what they say, you've already got a response in your head of what you want to say to them based on your perspectives in your life. And if you choose to make a conscious decision to shut your brain off and listen to what somebody else has to say, because if Scott starts talking to me about CBD and I go, right off the bat, my head says, you're a pothead. You don't know anything what you're talking about. But if I say, you know what, I'm going to take a time to stop myself and listen to what he has to say, I might actually learn something or change my perspective or be able to respond in a fashion that just isn't pure out of anger or something that I might have learned 30 years ago and may be outdated. So I think so many people are just so quick to respond with social media being an instant knowledge base where you just poof, it's there. And they don't take the time to research and say, okay, there's how many 3 billion users or something on Facebook. And then there's only 300,000 users on Twitter. So when you say that something is the masses all think this thing or think this way, and you look at it from a perspective of, well, you know what, that's actually really a small percentage of the population. You might want to listen to hear what those people are saying versus just responding.
Well, and the thing is even if he didn't teach you something or you didn't get something out of it or whatever that you use within your life, what you did still get was just a piece of him, a perspective that what he has, and walk away even if you still don't agree. And just know, you know what, now I get why he thinks that way. I can understand that part of him and walk away.
I think a big problem is we don't have conversations in our homes anymore.
Right.
We're either on screens or a single parent is working and the kid's home, and we don't teach our kids. We don't teach each other. It's okay to disagree.
Yeah,
because you can, and we don't teach people it's okay to just not respond. If you tell me something and I don't like it, there was an instance this past Tuesday at my daughter's basketball game. For years, I was the announcer there, and so the announcer this year, Ian, he's a great friend of mine, and he and I would always kind of split duties. He'd do football, I'd do basketball, and then he's like, "Hey, why don't you come and do the music?" Now they're under the COVID-19 guidelines and regulations, so you can only have 50 people there. Each athlete can only have 2 tickets, so 2 people from their family or 2 friends or whatever.
Yeah,
and so my wife is working the scorer's table, so she's actually working. So I go in without using a ticket, right? So I'm trying to be sly and slip her boyfriend in, my daughter's boyfriend in, and we get called out on it, right? And so the athletic director felt really bad talking to me. I go, no problem. We're trying to get away with this.
Right.
I
owned it.
And we got caught. And I'm like,
and then moved on.
That's it. I said, nope, totally get it. We were trying to get away with it. You got us. I totally understand. totally fine. But then he he didn't know how to react to that. He just kind of kept going, and I'm like, no, it's fine, Bobby.
Right, you said what it is, and it's done. And that's the thing is, he wanted to keep probably rehashing it, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just it's done. You made an attempt. You got caught. He called you out. You agreed. You said, okay, bummer. You moved on. In his head, he's still having to rationalize why he made that
response.
Right. But he's rationalizing in his head, right? Instead of just letting it go. And that's what the world is doing. Everyone's rationalizing why they made a decision or what they did. I don't give a shit. You did it. You got caught. It's over.
You did it. You got caught. Right. It's over. And it's over. And you move on.
Right. Don't do it again, or do it better next time so you don't get caught.
Right. And on the note of moving on, Wendy says, please let Gary talk. I think she said I don't know what, because she said, I wanted to ask Gary to talk. He is amazing. So Gary, I guess this is your opportunity.
Welcome into the Gary show.
Yeah, the grounds to Gary.
Grounds to Gary.
Welcome to the soapbox.
Welcome to the Gary show. And anything you'd like to say at this point, just start flapping your mouth. Go right ahead. So,
I guess looking at the whole situation in the US over the last few years, I think perhaps there are a few, I wouldn't call it rules, but I think there are a few personal guidelines perhaps most American citizens could take from the Asian side of things. Most people view Singaporeans, which are those of us in Singapore, most people view Singaporeans as very apathetic towards life. We don't really give much of a damn towards politics, our own politics and things like that. We really can't be bothered. In a way, that's good in a way, because that keeps you free of trying to keep up with one another. It keeps you free of trying to keep on looking at what somebody has or what somebody doesn't have and trying to compare your life with them. And it's like, yeah, you do you and I do mine. Hey, it's fine. We're okay with that. You do whatever that pleases you. And and we each carry on with our own life, because each of us have our own life path to travel. So not all of us can travel on the same road. Not all of us can climb up the same mountain. I think that is perhaps one way that would perhaps, in a way, it's kind of like a Zen mentality, right? Just let whatever happen, and if it doesn't affect you directly, then just move along and don't harp too much about it. Don't keep on harping on it. I see always the same issues that have been talked about over and over again, in the news, and it's like, don't these people feel kind of tired talking about the same old thing again? I mean, it's kind of getting stale. The bread is actually getting stale around that whole thing.
Right.
But that's probably one of the best ways to detach oneself from all the all the hula-baloo that's happening in the world.
Yeah. P.S. Gary is very handsome, says Eric.
Thank you from a 50-year-old.
Gary, you have a fan you didn't even realize.
There you go.
Talk about a stalker.
Watch your Facebook page.
Eric's coming for you. Now, Eric will throw out the love unsolicited. So just be forewarned. You got to be prepared for Eric's love, whether you want it.
And I got to agree with Gary, because I've said the same thing. I'm like, how do you keep listening to the same story and without either turning it off or changing it, right? Yeah. Of course, here at 21.6 and that, we'd love you to continue to listen to the same story. Just keep tuning in.
Actually, with that in mind,
same show, not the same story.
Same show,
with
not
that
the same
in
story.
mind, next week,
the dead horse topic.
Next week on the grounds, I want to know your favorite words.
Fuck.
All right.
Used in so many
I agree with
ways and
that.
manners.
That's right up there.
Was that a noun? Was that a noun or an adverb?
It's an adjective. It's an adverb.
That's a wonderful word. That word covers the full spectrum. That word covers a full grammatical range.
It does.
Yeah, you can, but see, you can insert any word for that and use it the same way.
There's a show now that it's called The History of Swear Words, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. I think it was with Nicolas Cage.
And
I'm not trying to push anything, but
no, I have to check it out.
It was funny.
I was actually really.
It's funny.
My wife's the one that kind of turned me on to it, if you will, and I was just kind of like, wow, one of those things.
Is it a documentary type of a show?
It's on Netflix.
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 It's got some good humor, but some good history to it too.
Episodes, but the first one they start out with is fuck, and it's just amazing, really, because we have made it that word is such a bad thing to say.
All right.
It's really
It's
not.
It's
if you
just
really
an,
listen
it's
to the
just
whole
an
show.
expression.
It's an expression.
Well, actually, it's a verb. It's actually a verb under the in the British Oxford Dictionary. It's actually a verb.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
And it's actually an abbreviation for fornication under the king's consent, under the consent of the king. So that's basically what it is. But somehow it turned into a kind of like a very colorful word that you can add to any word.
It's colorful.
Now the interesting thing is, if you watch that show, it does bring that up about under the king,
Right.
Yes.
and it kind of dispels that a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just if you're looking at the meaning behind
It's
a lot of things.
It's actually an acronym for
Yes, it's an
unlawful
acronym.
carnal knowledge.
Fornication under the consent of the king. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Now we've gone Beavis and Butthead. We're right at the bottom of the hour. We're 8:29. Mr. Producer, would you like to let us know who brought the grounds to us today? And be sure to come back next week. Who
Absolutely. We just want to thank our good friends over at Cannibalist CBD Shop, right here in McHenry at 818 Front Street. Check them out, or check them out at www.cannibalistcbdshop.com, or give them a call, 815-687-2608, for all your CBD needs.
All right.
Thanks, folks.
For all of us,
Nice to see everybody.
for all of us here at
Have a great
216 The Net,
day.
thanks for getting caught in the net. Come back in a half hour with Bridging Civil Tension.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, Gary.
See you.
Love you, my friend.
Great to finally see you.
See you.